Morning, everyone. Morning. All right, let's get straight into these charts because some interesting setups coming into the midpoint of the week. Remember, we're the backside of the week or midpoint of the week now. Let's have a look. All right, Monday low, Tuesday high. Key reference points for anyone that's done the course. You will know why. So what are we looking at? Well, bullish consolidation. All the time we're above this old supply, which should now become demand. We're really looking for continuation higher. All right, we ideally don't want to see this trade here happen. All right, that's not what we want to see, but it's possible given the model. All right, so already this morning you've seen that we've come and swept previous day high on both indexes and then come back inside the previous day range after that Trump post. If anyone missed it, Trump posting criticizing Jerome Powell yet again for not making rate cuts. So what are the possibilities today? Well, there's a few things ahead. We have an inside bar. It's possible that we have an inside bar day. Absolutely possible to build liquidity for a continuation higher. Definitely possible today if it wants to do it. If we sustain a bid over previous day high, we'll be looking to target previous week high. And then looking left, make sure my mic's on, looking left, we're attacking all-time highs if and when it becomes ready. It's really not that far away to do that move. All right, so that is definitely an option. We can also take that old high and then come back into the range created, especially underneath Tuesday's high. So that's going to be key. Let's have a look at the hourlies. Click over here, make sure that's all viewable. There we go. Okay, watching this chart down here, you can see yesterday's volume in all of the hours, extended hours. Point of control was left down at 82. Let's just have a quick flick over to regular. Yeah, pretty much the same. So based on regular hours, I'm going to move this up. Value area high is that dip low. Value area low is that dip low that we had in the afternoon. Value area high is pretty much the high of day. And this right here, I'm just going to triple check. No, let's change that 1 second. There we go. All right, so trading inside all of yesterday's range, inside all of yesterday's volume area right now, until we get acceptance above and outside of those ranges, we are going to expect some choppy action. You can see this level here is going to be key, right here. My mouse is moving very nice here. So yesterday we had that big drive up. If we think about what a pro trend is, went over this with my Discord last night. There's your break, retest, break, retest, break. Even yesterday we retested. So we pretty much got a double bottom here. If we start letting go of 55s, okay, if it's not a sweep and a pullback inside to go higher, if we actually start letting go of that, either with volume and a snap or a rejection of it on a retest, I expect a move to 550s. All right, if we start rejecting that, we go lower. Again, these points here are potential pivots to go up, but I would imagine buyers are hanging around at these points now. But if for any reason we have a catalyst, we have news, we have a reason to go lower, then these pivots where we're blue, if we start going under and rejecting, we go for next level down. All right, next level, next level, next level. All makes sense. Just very clean S&R. Don't overcomplicate it. So far, we are making high highs and high lows, even in this range here. Understand that. This high, this low created this high, this low created this high. This is a higher low. Still have the ability to go higher right now. I'd be looking for higher prices and to lean on for high prices all the time it proves to me. What's the trouble with doing that right now? Momentum's good. The problem is your location. We are coming right into massive higher time frame supply, not just this guy here looking left, supply block right here into 877s all the way up to 22,000 and then through that 22,200. All right, so we are getting very, very close. So you need to be aware of that. If you're going to take a long today on a breakout or a breakout retest of the highs, you need to manage your risk. All right, you need to manage your risk. Like we've talked about the last few sessions and the last few weeks, the guys who have been making money have been swing traders who are able to get long and hold and then rebuy the dip and hold. The day trades have not been that easy. All right, they've not been that easy. Yesterday actually ended up being a really nice day. We got it in the Discord together. Well, I didn't, but everyone else got it, which is perfect. Seeing a pump up here in the market right now. Let's move over to the lower time frame. Okay, starting to reclaim this level here already. You can see my levels drawn out if you want to copy those. So again, any acceptance above previous day high, we're looking for higher prices. Bear with me 1 second here, folks. Mouse keeps getting stuck. All right, any acceptance over previous day high, we are looking for higher prices. Any rejection of here, we're looking for rotation. We can also get a big move and then a big rejection as well. All of these things are very, very possible. Why? Because we're inside range right now. Right, we have to respect the top side of the range. Let's have a quick look at the mag. Move this to 5 minute. Okay, Apple gapping down right now, stuck inside yesterday's range. Microsoft gapping up, stuck inside yesterday's range, looks strong. Relative strength there. Amazon gapping up, stuck inside yesterday's range. Doesn't look too good. That does not look too good. That's a failed break. That's a head, shoulder. Has the possibility to run lower here right now on Amazon. Mixed bag so far looking at the mag, not exactly big confluence. Goog gapping up, holding previous day's lows, which is good, but haven't broken out above those highs. If we get a break above the highs, we have clear liquidity here for Goog to go and search for. Remember, that's had relative weakness for a few days off the news catalyst. Meta gapping up, but again inside yesterday's range. It is bullish range up here, but it's got to come and take out that pivot high. Nvidia strength. Instantly can see that strength. Huge move yesterday, dragged the market up. Has the ability to do this now. This is what we talked about pre-market here yesterday. We talked about this move here, and it's now starting to shape up. So anyone who held Nvidia sub 100, you've done the right thing. Tesla needs to hold this pivot, 42s. 42s needs to hold, break of 55s, offers a trade up to 63. So complete mixed bag in the mag. Not giving me a whole lot of confidence there. Let's have a look at the VIX. VIX into higher time frame demand right now. Yeah. Into this old pivot. Filled that old gap. Would not be surprised to see VIX get a little bounce today. If we get a snap under 17s, then the market can get very, very bullish today. All right, I'm going to take these that's better. Clean it up a bit. All right, so far we've taken Globex high, Globex low in the pre-market. So this is setting up for quite a lot of choppiness so far this morning till proves otherwise. Let's have a quick look at the book. There's a little bit of selling in front of 50. Let me just zoom out here. There's a 64 lot at 850. There's a 61 lot down at 650. I don't see much on the book outside of that. Book looks pretty empty right now. No one at home at the moment on the book from the looks of it to me. Yeah. dips into 650. There is a buyer down there, and there's a seller at 850. Not much outside of that at all that I can see on the book right now. So I'm bullish. All right, from a technical standpoint, I'm bullish, but I'm either looking for dips or breakout and retest. If we do a failed breakout based on the weekly model, I'll consider it. That's kind of where my head's at. I'm very, very tired. I've not slept well. Definitely got burnout right now. So I'm going to ease right off today. Small size, probably not link my accounts because I'm aware that I had a terrible night's sleep. Thank you, John. Yes, red folder news today, 9:45 and 10 o'clock. We have red folder news, so be very aware of that. Thank you, John. I would have forgotten to say that today. Let's bring it up. Financial juice. Here we go. 9:45. You've got PMI, and then Bank of Canada Fed rate decision, and then 10 o'clock ISM services PMI. Firewater, my back's very, very sore, hence me not sleeping very well. So I dosed up on CBD last night to try and get a better night's sleep, and I was still waking up in pain quite a lot. So I think it's starting to massively impact me and my trading as well. So it needs to get sorted, but maybe a week or 2 weeks on the beach in Spain will do it some good. Let's see. All right, you have a few minutes to the open here. Plenty of time, not too much to go over today because the levels are exactly the same as the previous days. So we're just waiting right now. Not in a hurry to execute anything this morning. Post 10 o'clock, maybe we get some form of trend. If we start accelerating before that, that's fine. Happy to join in. But it just looks like consolidation up here and range rotation at the highs, building liquidity, and time will tell. We'll find out if that liquidity is to go higher, is to take out previous week high and drive up, or if we need a much deeper pullback. You know, if we've done a Monday, Tuesday high and we're going to fail that breakout and pull back inside the weekly range, which is very, very, very common and very, very possible. Let's go over some good mornings now before I forget. See who's in there. Morning, Miguel, Ramos, Ryan, Clint, Chris, Willa Williams, Marek, Thumper, Aaron, ERF, Vince, Jesse, JD Florida Man, Tim V, Richard, Jeff, Brandon, Michael, Indicator, Firewater, Christy, Abe, Mike, Coop, Leron, Glenn, Ken, Brad, Trentry, John, Peter, Raphael, Drew, point of control, high volume area. Yeah, the highest volume area from yesterday, exactly that. John Hansen, Eva, Juan Carlos, Paul G, Darren, Toby, Myron, Owen J, Array, Kat, Greg, Aintes, Bowden, and Lindell. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Do me a favor, smash that like button nice and early so I don't have to ask again during chat. Makes it easier for me. Let's see what we get here this morning, team. Like I said, the book looks pretty thin this morning. It doesn't look like a whole lot of participation so far this morning. Not of big size. There's no sort of 100 lots that I'm looking at. I'll have a quick look at the ES actually. ES has got some bids. 138 lot, 150 lot down at 989.75, and an offer up at 6,000, and an offer up at 6,050 and 6,100. There is a bid down at 5,900 and 5,800, and 6,150 is the biggest offer in the book. So they're just spread out. Let me just see which ones of those are institutional. Yeah, the edges for ES right now, 5,900, 6,050, 6,150. Those are where the big orders are on the ES, for those of you trading. So at the moment, those are the edges of liquidity at the moment for now. All right, market opening 2, 1, ding, 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 ding. Here's your bell. Here's your bell. Let's see what we get. I'm not expecting a whole lot. See if some orders start coming on the book here. My mouse is struggling. I don't know what's going on here. So far, holding bids, driving up towards previous day high. Liquidity up there, like we talked about, in front of 50. Finding some sellers up there. ES trying to participate as well. ES back to previous day high here as well. So you've got nice synchronicity here. Most of the market green. In fact, now all of the mag now green. So market trying to push higher here. This is Globex high right here. If we're going to start squeezing, we're going to have to go above previous day high and hold bids, remember. Above previous day high and hold bids. Move up a little bit. There we go. So we're into the overnight supply created where we've gone sideways into all of this. Yes, into the same level. Where is my New York print? There it is. Finally, we got it working. Thank goodness for that. Saved me having to do it. That means the indicator should be fully operational. As long as there's no bugs today, I will be able to get it available for you all soon. Gosh, that took a lot of time. This should be white though. Let me change. Opening range. I want these. There we go. All right. So far protecting that New York Open. Looks like it wants to squeeze higher to me. It looks like it's trying to get up to previous day high. So far, keep failing up there. Yeah, Nvidia in pain. I don't think so. Like, you can't be in pain from a $1 pullback at the open in Nvidia when it was up. You know, it's done a massive move from yesterday. You've got to give it time, my friend. It's been 3 minutes, right? 3 minutes, and it's just basing and pulling back to a level of consolidation from yesterday. If you bought that open and you're in pain, that doesn't mean Nvidia's in pain. It's two different things. Nvidia will have to snap below 40, okay, and can afford to trade all the way down to 38. Yes, it was pre-market up there, but the market can't move straight up, can it? Right? Just because it was pre-market up high, you know, you don't think there's allowed to be some profit taking? Do we respect structure when we look left, or do we just panic because it's pulled back $1? You know, look left, respect the structure. It's absolutely okay here all the time. It's above 40.23, and even below that, I would argue it's okay. It can afford a very deep pullback here into 38. It can afford to do it and still be very bullish. It's building liquidity right now. You guys have got to start respecting higher time frames and looking left. If you're zoomed in the 1 minute and you're worried about a $1 pullback in Nvidia, I don't know what to say. That thing can move $10 a day very easily. Right, ES approaching its high for a breakout. NQ doing the same, very, very close. Still not a whole lot of liquidity on the book. I'm trying to zoom out to see what's around. Not too much like filling me with confidence here this morning. Maybe everyone's waiting for this newsprint. ES has almost taken the pre-market highs. Their Globex high up at 96.75. Very, very close to taking it. Remember, it's higher time frame supply above that on the ES. Same story with the SPY. It's got a trade up to 98.30s. It's possible if it breaks out of here and holds, which it looks like it is attempting to do. it is attempting to do. Previous day high about to be tagged here on the NQ. Yes, still not through that pre-market high. NQ not through previous day high. Your 5-minute opening range has now been set for those of you who like playing M5 orbs. You've got a seller up here at 760, then 770, and then 780. Still not much size. You're talking about 19 size lots. Letting this just shake out. Feels like it wants to squeeze, but you know, you are in danger of a failed breakout here. Here's the squeeze through previous day high. Nice move through the 60s. Do they hold continue? Whoa, 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 whoa. Fat finger. No, no, no. Thank God for that. Oh my God. And it's got me in flat and all. This is going to be a very nice big mistake here accidentally. Well, I'll take it. Sometimes you get very lucky, folks. That was one of it. That is the problem with hotkeys. Oh my gosh, that is a very, very lucky mistake, folks. Instantly hit flattened. Didn't, I was also on a copier accidentally. Hit flattened on the copier and, well, it's paid me some money here on that breakout. I did not mean to do that. I will take it. I was trying to move my supply box and fat fingered it in, but I'll take it. Oh, well, I'll take that piece of luck. Okay, so you're looking for a breakout retest now. It's a nice squeeze out for continuation. I would be watching the move for previous week high. Remember that old weekly high all the way up in this box. We're going to move this down a little bit into here. All right, that's what you're looking for a move into right now. So if we can hold dips and develop a trend, this is what we're looking to do. If we start failing under here, you need to be careful based on the weekly model that we come deeper. But so far, you look good. So I'm going to wait for that continuation setup now. Oh my gosh, nothing worse than a fat finger to start the day, but got in very well. What do I think of the big gaps on the indexes and Mag 7s? Which big gaps? We don't have a gap today. We like today, there's not much. My PDC's right here. So nothing that I'm worried about today. Don't need to do a gap fill in my opinion. The gap fill would be tiny. Be 20-point gap. If you mean the ones very, very far below, then possibly we come and visit those later in the year. We'll see. Right now, I think we're going for all-time highs. I think this market is in squeeze mode. We're going to go risk on and just go straight for all-time highs. That's what at least what it feels like to me at the moment. All right, so if dips hold here in this pullback towards previous day high, there may be a trade here. Just be aware of the time. Obviously, you have news coming. From the middle of May. You're talking about that huge gap from 150 all the way up to basically 20,000. I mean, at the moment, it's not looking like it wants to revisit it, is it? But maybe later in the year, if we do a huge squeeze out above all-time highs and we go into some recessionary pressure, maybe then. Maybe then. All right, liquidity starting to come on the book here. All right, 790, 797, 800. We're still bullish like we talked about. If you took that breakout, you look good. I'm going to wait for a pullback here, see if it offers a pullback and firms up into previous day high. That's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see this box basically become blue. All right, we've gone through it. I want this old resistance, right, to become support. Same with this. This really became support. In fact, I don't really care about that one so much. Yeah, I'd like a hold of this. A hold of this to go higher at this point is what I'm looking for. If we fail to hold, if there's no bullish pattern there, if there's no buyers showing up, then the failed breakout is possible. All right, just be aware of that. Based on the day that we're in, it is possible. And you have news coming here in 5 minutes. So be aware of that. Book might start to thin out into this news. Be aware of that. VIX still sort of trading sideways here. Right into that level from, what's that, May 19. We're finding a bid off that so far on the VIX. So just be aware of that. Audio garbled. I'm not sure what caused that. I'm sorry. All right, so waiting to see if we hold a pullback into value area high, previous day high, somewhere around that, some kind of flag, W shape, some reason to get involved to go higher. As ever, they're probably likely to time it and stick it right in that level, right into news. Delta looks good, nice and strong this morning. Quick look over at ES. ES is coming up for that 6,000. Remember, lots up here on the ES. 180, 226, and a 70 lot. Lots of orders up here on the ES into 6,000 if you're trading that. So nothing wrong with taking a partial here. If we get some big market orders come in and squeeze above, then you can hold for continuation. New break here, new high of day. ES failing to do the same. Q's new high of day. Remember, the run is for previous week high, which is 21,859.25. Or is it one tick lower than that? 59. Just call it 59. 859 is your final target if they absorb dips this morning. If we get through that, I'm going to respect that high time frame wedge, or wedge I should call megaphone. And if we're going to do a move today into that next level, well, there's lots of room. 22,000 is definitely on deck today if we get through that previous week high. And news incoming here very, very shortly. So here's your pullback into previous day high, into Globex, into value area high. They will need to hold these levels. Again, you've got news coming in 1 minute, so I'm not going to touch this right into red folder news. It's too risky for me. But these are the levels that it needs to be holding. I would want to see some kind of setup here that bulls step in and hold for a drive higher. That's what you'd want to see. You'd want to see some absorption down here to drive higher. Book's starting to thin out here, folks. Still got buyers down at 42s. But other than that, let me zoom right out. The book is starting to thin out. Sellers are all up at 800. And again, not much size right now. Here comes your newsprint. 10 seconds. Make sure you've got your stop in the money. If you're trading this, do not be surprised if this gets thin and does something nasty. Do not be surprised. It's starting to get very wonky very quickly here on the order flow. As that news not hit yet, a bit of a nothing burger if so. Putin talking right now as well, folks, just in case. Still don't see this print. Here we go. No, it's Bank of Canada's decision. Okay, in line. No change there. Where is the PMI? Here we go. PMI 53.7 versus 52.3. 53 versus 52. Not much change there. Pretty much in line. No big discrepancy. I'd say Putin talking could be an interesting one, though. All right, so market's still holding previous day highs so far. Still looking bullish. All the time we're able to hold that. Yeah, we can do that, Brad. Actually, we did go over that yesterday as well, but yeah, I can do that again today. Maybe you weren't here for it. I wouldn't be adding to anything right now because the range isn't big enough. You need more range when you're adding to a winner. We're only in 76 point of range so far this morning. Looking good here. Previous week high is definitely the target here if they can get that break. Big if, but that's what they're trying to do. Sellers are up into 800 here, so 95s and 800s. And then one at 850. He's still there at 850. So if they are able to hold a W pattern here or build that micro head and shoulder, build some liquidity sideways here, might be able to offer something like this. Otherwise, they will need to do something like this. All right, so boom, 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 boom. Versus this level. If this level lets go, I would not be interested. Let's get an anchor on as well. No, where's my VWAP gone? There it is. All right, market's slowing down a little bit here. Starting to consolidate. We'll wait for momentum to come back in. Yeah, Brad, nowhere near enough, dude. 10, 20 points, that's your risk on one trade. So I'd be, unless you're adding with big momentum, unless you've got like a feeler on, a small partial. So like the only way I would do that is if like, okay, let's say I've got a tiny bit on here and I'm like looking to see this squeeze above and hold this, and then I'm adding more size here. But you want to be adding where there's room. If you're adding every 10, 20 points on NQ, that's there's nowhere near enough room in that. It can shake you out very quickly then. Forex Factory got news at, I mean, that's 5 o'clock. Are you in a different time zone there, Adam? I'm trying to. Do I add more when I look at Bookmap? If we're trading through levels, yeah. If we're trading through levels, sometimes, yeah. Like now, if we're going to squeeze through these 800s, 805s, I know that we're kind of thin up to 850. So if they can hold a bid over 800, there's that room to 850. And really, by the time we get to 850, we should really go to 858 because that's previous week high. I want to see, it's a bit like yesterday. I'm trying to be patient today. I want to see aggressive buyers step in. What do I mean by that? I want to see market order buyers step in. I want to see big bubbles, big green bubbles. I want to see big red bubbles and us not move down, and big green bubbles and us take out liquidity higher. That's what I'm looking for us to do. Oh, in 11 minutes. Yeah, you've got another one top of the hour. Yeah, 9:45 and 10 o'clock today. Sorry, buddy. 9:45 and 10 o'clock. New York time. Every time I'm quoting, I'm always quoting New York time. ES got that 6,000 to clear out as well. Remember, you got 180 5 lot at 99, 130 lot at 99.50, and 225 lot at 6,000 on the ES. So they need to go and take all that out. Range here pretty small. So I haven't traded here this morning. I have executed accidentally on a fat finger and I closed it instantly, but I haven't actually taken a viable trade. I'm just waiting right now. Some stronger selling trying to come in here. They're searching for lower right now. Big strong selling coming in here. So let's see if they just absorb this 40 here. And then 25s. So back down to the VWAP, to the opening print. So if we stay heavy, remember we will be in a failed breakout above the Tuesday high. Remember that. If we stay heavy, those who've done the course, we will be in a failed breakout above the Tuesday high. I'd say how we act here in the next 15, 20, 30 minutes is going to be key. ES is trading back down to previous day high. SPY is not quite there yet. That SPY is at VWAP. QQQ is already through its VWAP. VIX looking like it wants to break out here. All right, so VIX starting to bottom into that 750s, 740s, 1745, 1750s, and it's finding a bid breakout of 1780 really can allow it to start going back up to 18. Is that VWAP? This is your New York VWAP. This is your 24-hour VWAP down here. Blue line, this blue line here is your opening print. That's your New York open. All right, so cash players currently, anyone in the market who bought is in the money all the time we're above this. This can be a two leg if it starts to reclaim. It would be a very nice bullish setup if it can do that. ES definitely has relative strength here. Remember, you got news coming in 7 minutes. Kind of more interested in trading post news here, I'm going to be honest. Like we talked about this morning, we have to think about higher time frame where we are right now. Right, this level here was really nice for yesterday. It was an easy buy opportunity for this drive up. This level here might need to come search lower and set this up. It's possible. I'm very aware of that. All right, so if we start to break down underneath value area low, it's possible we come and tag into this RBS before coming up. Then we've got liquidity here to go higher. If we start losing this level here, I'm very much not interested, because that means this is yet again a failed breakout above the range, and then I'd be thinking about a short rotation back inside. So I want to see 550s hold. Ideally, we don't even go that low, because then we don't let shorts out. But if 550s hold, there's still bullish setups. Underneath 550, less interest in this. This might need to build some liquidity. Remember, we've got liquidity here to raid. I'm expecting this to build liquidity. Whether it needs to do this or not will be seen, to go higher. Market cannot just move straight up, right? And we do not just move straight up in markets. We move in waves. First leg, pull back. Second leg, pull back. Third leg. Remember, we always like leg 1 and leg 2. They always offer the best. The third leg possibly if we're in a proper wave count, but leg 1 and 2 are always pretty good. So some liquidity starting to step in on the book here. 25s, 725s up to 740s. Seller at 50, 60 and 90 right now. Waiting to see what we do into this newsprint. I just want to get the news out of the way, so I've got the variables out the way for the day. Remember, yesterday was a very good trading day. Did I trade it well? No. I executed terribly, but it was a good trading day. Today we can expect a bit of consolidation before we do anything else. If you're wondering why I'm not looking to short this, even though we're producing lower lows and lower highs, it's because of the higher time frame right now. We're above New York open print. ES is above previous day high. We're hanging around previous day high. It's not something quite yet I'm interested in. It might be that that's the failed breakout above previous day high and we go lower. But when I zoom out, there's lots of structure here. So the pro trend remains up for me until we get underneath this, really. So it can afford a big pullback if it wants. Remember, yesterday, into 5 minute. Yesterday we did exactly that. Grind, breakout here, grind, flush down, absorption, sideways, retreat the liquidity. I'm really just treating this right now as a range. Right, this is a range. If we can hold above the range, we go leg up. If we hold below the range, we go leg down. We can also fail breakout. Right, so that's how I'm treating this here, and it's not a huge range. It's 100 points. We're going to be bullish. I'd like to see us reclaim these levels here. Start to hold this and do this move here. And ideally after 10 o'clock. It's 4 hour. 4 hour looks good. Think about this 4 hour looks really, really good. Really, really, really good. Sat here waiting. Remember, most of the game is waiting to be a sniper. There's no momentum in this yet. 76 point range. That's all we've got in the first 30 minutes. That's pretty small given what NQ's done the last few months. All right, we've done those moves in seconds, so let's just be patient. Relative strength here in the ES. It is still holding above previous day high. It looks like it wants to trade higher here. VIX failed the breakout, traded back inside again. I remain bullish bias on this until it proves otherwise to me. Even if it needs to flush down lower, I'm still bullish bias until it breaks down under 550. United States and the Arab Emirates have agreed to start negotiations on a trade deal that could roll back tariffs. That would be good. And there's your newsprint. I got a pause there on data. Okay. This is why I was waiting for the news. That got absorbed pretty quickly, didn't it? The book is completely thin. There is no one on this book right now. Just let this book settle down. There's a seller up at 87, and there's a little bit of buying in and around 650 and 700, but not a lot yet, folks. Just let this book settle down. There's no one participating right now. ISM services, new orders 46.4 versus 51.6. Prices paid 68.7. ISM employment actual. The US is said to refuse air cover for Europe force in post-war Ukraine. Lots of news hitting all at once here. All right, PMI 49.9 versus 52, so came in under. You're also seeing a lot of Russian news here all at once, folks. VIX starting to break out. ES is still holding PDC, as are we. We just swept PDC, closed the gap, found a bid. So again, I'm going to be patient here. I think this is just going to be a very choppy market. We're still just inside the previous range. All right, all you got to do is look left. We're still inside the previous range. That's all we're doing right now. We can still absorb and create higher lows. All right, higher low, higher high. This can be a higher low and a higher high. Don't get too pulled into it. Main move right now is upside. Still waiting for this book to catch up a little bit. Still very, very thin. Only liquidity right now is between 700 and 740. It's very thin. They obviously see that print as a contracting economy here. What did it come in at? 49s. It's pretty much 50, 49.9. Weakness coming into this market. Book's still very, very thin. Starting to see some participants come back now. This looks very different to the last few days, folks. On the book, very, very thin. Starting to see some selling here. We're into PDC here. ES is underneath VWAP. It's back testing VWAP. These are the key levels. If they're going to get follow through here and look for that move back down to Globex, they're going to need to start selling into VWAP here. You are seeing the sells start to pick up here a little bit. There is a move back down to Globex. 65 is possible here. So if you're looking for a short continuation, it is possible that it offers it down to 65 here. ES is rejecting its VWAP for now. Still protecting PDC. QQQ is right at PDC here, folks. There is a move back down into these Globex lows and then the value area low. Remember, we've got stops down here we can run. So 65 and 36. There is a short, which is a range rotation short, not a pro trend short, down into those levels. It is going to have to stay heavy versus New York Open. there is a short down into here, and it's runners beyond that. It is a range rotation short in the midpoint of the range, right? Just be aware of that. It's not a pro trend short. So if they start reclaiming, you cannot keep adding and adding and adding into it. You will get caught. VIX is starting to break out though. So the pivot on VIX is 1790 and 1805. So really just 18. Breakthrough 18, VIX has got a shot. Breakthrough 18, VIX has got a shot. They reject sort of 710s all the way up to 725s here. Then I think you run Globex, and then you've got a runner down towards that pivot from yesterday. ES has relative strength. Why is it filling? Something has gone crazy. Trying to put a order up high, not a... what is going on with these hotkeys? Come on, market. Ninja. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. That is my fault. That is the AI enhanced trader being off, so the hotkeys have changed. There we go. That should be fine. All right. So my second fat finger of the day. Again, green on it, but not what I wanted. I was trying to put an order up at VWAP. Okay, so Globex about to be taken here. So if you're in this short, you look good. And your next move down underneath Globex, I'll be taking a partial into these levels here. And then you're looking for a continuation down to 35. And at that point, be very, very cautious if buyers step in. If we fail 35, there is a rotation possible. All right, so you're looking for this guy here to be swept and this guy. At this point, it can turn back inside the range. This can be a spring, but if you're holding a runner here, you can look for that move down into these levels where we broke out from yesterday. Right, if we look in left, try and make you see this a little bit better. All right, this pivot here. This is where I expect buyers to come in. This is why I said if we cannot lose 550s today. If we lose 550s, we're pretty bearish on a bigger rotation. But you look good if you're in this. I've still not got that fill up high that I wanted. So liquidity's now swept on Globex. Value area low coming. This is your last 35. 635. Take some more off into 635. Hold a runner beneath that for a move back down to 550s. This is a heavy print here, folks. Again, still no buyers on this tape, so cannot be bidding on this. You're looking for sales. These are my fat fingers today, all right? So very, very lucky. All right, Globex swept, almost tagged that low there. Let me check with ES as well, coming into the same levels. Did it sweep? It hasn't swept 74.25 yet. I think that's still going to come here on ES very, very shortly. So looking for pops to fail for a continuation lower, but your low-hanging fruit now into Globex is gone. If they reject Globex, then you can get a lower price here. VIX really starting to get going. Look at VIX at 18s. This is what we wanted to see on VIX for lower prices. So next stop for VIX, if it's going to continue to break, would be 1837s. So you are looking for pops to fail here for continuation if you're thinking we're moving lower. Remember, so far all we've done is sweep Globex, that orange line on the chart. We did get very close to this and didn't take it. That's not by accident, that is by design. It's what the market loves to do, get you as close as possible, doesn't give you your out. That's why you've got to take partials into those levels. So let's see if this pop starts to fail here on this drive up. There's liquidity here at 695. Not much above. All right, so I'm expecting some sellers to come in soon unless they're going for a giant squeeze. Kept having weird orders like you're having today. I went back to NT chart trader and hotkey, no issues. Yeah, the hotkeys on there change. Yeah, it's a nightmare. Yeah, I might be doing the same. What I really like it for is the not having to chart on M and Q and NQ. That's the only reason I got it. So I didn't have to chart on both pieces of soft or on both charts. You know, because you can click that button where it just like moves you over. I think that's wicked. Yeah, exactly. Okay, PDC coming here. If they've trapped shorts at that lows, you know what happens next. Watching ES into view up. If we start to squeeze, we're going to go all the way back upside, leaving that little bit of liquidity down lower. Here's your opening range retest here. His PDC retest here. His VWAP retest here. Liquidity coming back on the book. ES to VWAP. ES through VWAP now. New York Open here. This is the sort of key level here, whether they drop back down or not. It's now or never for the bears. If they don't get it, they are going to get hurt. They will get hurt if they don't drop it back down now. So they'll be looking for a lower high to be set in this and in and around the opening range. And if they don't get it, they will get smackarooned. Yes, right into VWAP. These are squeeze trigger points here. If they reclaim this, massive, massive squeeze trigger points here. If they flag and go here, those bears will be in trouble. If they drop this back down, then they're going to have some good money on the table. Seeing absorption come in there. What I don't like is the book's pretty thin. Anyone looking at the book, it's pretty thin. But if we hold pullbacks here, after sweeping glowbacks, if we hold pullbacks here, anywhere in here, this becomes possible and this still becomes viable. We talked about this earlier, didn't we? This is a level of demand. So if we sweep, there was always a fail breakout potential. If you go back into Discord, this was a level we were looking at. Still messy though. Remember, I'm going to just repeat myself. Remember, this is range rotation. There's your fail breakout. This can still be range rotation. It's messy in here, folks. All right, it's messy in here. They're going to build liquidity in here. It's because we had a big move yesterday. Bears will need to sell this versus VWAP for a lower low. If bears fail to produce a lower low and they get stuck here, this can be a bullish rotation. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. Left you on the wrong chart. All I'm saying is this is a range. We'd identified this range before. There's your failed breakout back inside the range. Even if we get under here, this can be a failed breakout and trade inside. Remember, the continuation trade will be this to here, and I expect that to be absorbed. Basically, what I'm saying is we're not fully directional in this market yet. Higher time frame is bullish, remains bullish. High time frame remains bullish. What I do not like is that low not taking typical NQ fashion. We got to 41, and really we could have traded down to 35 just to make it really easy. Did ES take it out? Let me see, was there divergence there? No, ES didn't take it either. So they both left a load. Did they leave it on the book? Let me have a look. So that's 640s. No one down there anymore. No one down there anymore. They're looking to hold 700s here for a trade up. That's what it looks like to me. They're looking to hold 700s for a trade upside right now. It is so thin, folks. I will tell you that. This is your participation in the market right now. It's not a lot, right? It really is not a lot. Be very careful out there. Back to VWAP, back to New York Open. ES through its VWAP already. SPY coming into it. Remember, we're technically in a failed breakout on the daily. From technical point of view, we failed to hold a bid above previous day high. We traded back inside. So technically, we are in failed breakout territory. That can change very, very quickly if they start to reclaim. But I'm just trying to point out what's there. This is your New York Open. We look very, very squeezy here, in my opinion. If we can hold bids above VWAP in New York Open, there's a good chance we get all the way back up to high of day. So looking to see if we can get involved here, if it's going to start to firm up. I really want to just see it build out something nice. What I'm only concern, I'd guess, is lower time frame just being a 2-leg to be sold into. And QQQ right at its VWAP as well. So just big fail on VIX though. Big fail on VIX. Best price right now is down here if we're going to trade the range. What's the scary thing? We've left liquidity here. What's the other scary thing? Underneath here, there's no one on the book down here. I'm not just talking about these actual candles. On the actual book, there's no limit buyers sitting here waiting to get picked up. So if we fail this, we can, and market orders start selling hard, we can go much, much lower very, very quick. Choppy. I expect choppy action, and it's what we're getting. Quick look at ES. God, the ES book just looks so much better all the time, doesn't it? There you go. So try and trade to 700s. Remember, under 700s, there is literally nothing on the book right now. So these are the cheap buy opportunities down here. If they dip down here and hold it, and sellers don't force their way through it, remember, they're going to have to be aggressive to force their way through it. If they're unable to do that, this is where they can trap to go higher. These are key levels. I'm just trying to let this shake out for a minute. I'm interested in joining if it can prove itself. Not before that fact. Remember, we did not clean out that low, that value area low. We protected it. Just remember, we are still just in an H1, but this H1 looks very bullish. There's definitely buyers down here, aren't there? Definitely buyers down here. Starting to try and build liquidity here. Nice hold of VWAP on the ES. New York Open here now. Key trigger points. I want to see some participants come and start forcing this market higher up to 787s, which is where the main level is on the book. Previous day high is 60, so I'm going to respect that as well. Problem is, ES keeps banging on previous day high and getting stuck. All right, so we're trading right now on the SPY and the ES between PDH. Remember, we've got intraday supply above PDH and the VWAP. That's where we are getting stuck right now. If we can hold this and absorb here, there is a chance to move higher. It's a big if and but right now. You'd want to see ES move through previous day high. If we can reclaim these flow zones and start to go, I'm interested. Needs to build out more liquidity. Don't mind it going sideways for a little while right now. Maybe a little fake breakdown and then a pull up would be really good. If it's just going to squeeze, then I'll have to see if I can grab some momentum if that's the case. VIX finding a bid on PDC as well, so we've got to be cautious here. All right, here comes the squeeze in this long now. Stop already in the money. Not going to give this any room. Need to see ES participate for a squeeze higher. ES failing here. VIX finding a bid on PDC. Very careful here. This fails, it fails. It is what it is. Not going to give it room here. Almost knocking me out on that New York print. There we go. I'm out flat. I'll have another go at it. But ES failed PDH, and that was key. A bit more patience here from me, I think. I'd actually much rather it comes and pulls down into low 90s and 80s and finds a bid down there. It will trap more shorts if it does that. Want to be careful because we're starting to get up into areas where those buyers were trapped. All right, remember, buyers above previous day high are trapped right now. All right, these guys are trapped. This is who started to sell off. So I want to be very careful buying here for up there. What I'd really like is something down here which holds and then pivots, and then I can use these shorts pain to come up into there, and if these guys stop out, we go higher. I also want to be careful when I think about the legs that we're producing right now, lower time frame. This can be a 2-leg pullback which fails. 1, 2, it can come into here and then fail. That would be great. I'm also trying to remind myself we're in range. We're just in range rotation. If I'm looking for a trend, it could be very, very dangerous. Coop, have you gone back to just charting on both now then, if you've got rid of it? So you just have 2 screens up. There's no way of like sharing like rectangles across different instruments, is there? That would make my life easier if I could share like supply and demand boxes on NQ and MNQ at the same time. But I don't think there's a way of doing that. And it's the only reason I got the AI enhanced trader thing. Okay, ES still holding its view up. Dips are still being absorbed down here. Your range is still tight, 152 points. Still think there's a move upside here. It's just whether they need to pull down lower first. Remember, if we lose this and this, there is a move down into here. I'm looking for longs all the time. We're going to protect it. I'm also very aware that we're in range. This is almost me talking to myself. I'm very aware that we're in range and that the weekly model says we can do exactly what we've done today and dig lower if it wants. And do not expect us to go anywhere back near the open of the week, though. Yep, 700 looks good. Oh, you're a legend. Thank you. All right, PDH here again on ES. It's trapping between VWAP and PDH. If it can squeeze here, there's a chance to move higher. It needs to start bidding above PDH here on the ES. All right, that's what I think you need to see. I actually want this to pull back hard first here, just because of the amount of liquidity it's building here. I want to be very careful it doesn't do a micro head and shoulder, so I wouldn't mind it sweeping under here before going. I feel more confident at that point. ES is going though. ES looks good here. New York here. Here's a squeeze. I don't think there's a way of me getting in at this point unless we break. Go on then. Go, go, go. If you're going to go, let's go. I want to get all the way up to higher day if possible. Yes, that's great, folks. I'm in this long. I'm not going to add to it. Just a little piece on. Looking to see if we can break 37s and get up to 45s and 50s, which is where we've got some sellers on the book. There we go. Can we get through these guys now and go up towards high of day? And if we get through high day, remember, if we can get through high of day, we're looking for previous week high. This looks great now. ES, fantastic. VIX diving under previous day low. This is everything I want to see. Move your stop up into the money. We have some sellers here at 45, 50, 55, 60. Thin above 60. All right, thin above 60. Let me zoom out of this book. There's a seller up at 87. He pulled and then he's come back on the book. So I want to see us trade all the way through here. Back through Globex, through this orange line. Breakout, get through all of this, get back through value area high and go on a big old squeeze out for us for the pro trend move. Here we go. Lovely. Let's go. I think we've got more juice in this, especially if ES goes. And make sure you're paying yourself. I will remind you we're still in a range. Am I leaning upside? Yes, definitely. Does the 4 hour look good? Yeah. Does the hourly look good? Yeah. These all look amazing. But this is still a range. We still have to respect it. Even though I think we're going up here, we must respect resistance, 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 failure point resistance. Nothing wrong with taking some money off into there, holding a partial, breakout, pull back, hold. We can add back on. It looks good. Looks good. I want to see ES break high day. I want to see Nvidia go red to green. Tesla the only weak one in this market today. Everything else green on the day. It's just been it's not cold, but the mornings are a bit miserable. It's been a bit overcast in the mornings. It's overcast again, and I've had my aircon on all night, which probably is why I'm cold, to be honest. And I'm like I said, I did not sleep well last night. I reckon I got 3 or 4 hours tops, and I'm burnt out. I've got burnout at the moment. I'm very, very, very aware that I've got burnout right now. So I've backed off the trading a lot today. So I'm just trading one account at a time at the moment. Looking forward to a holiday. Come back end of June, feeling refreshed. 50s coming up. Previous day high. Current day high. Previous week high. Those are the levels you need to look for. Why is 50 important? It's the Globex high. That orange line. Value area high from yesterday above it. We need acceptance over yesterday's value area high, really. Sorry, it's probably really loud. Let me sit back away from the mic. Probably annoying. You should have taken some partials and waiting to see if it can develop with your stop in the money. You want it to hold New York Open and VWAP. Otherwise, you want to be cautious. Trying to get a little bit of room here. It looks really good. Just need ES to get going with it again now. I want VIX to reject previous day close and wash. This is great. Go, 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 go. No hesitation. Sellers 50, 55, 60. Just want to go and take them all out. Want to see some big green bubbles on the tape like this? Let's go. Come on, market orders. Come on. Force us up. Force it up. Once we get through 50s, should have a nice pop to 55 and 60s. Need these market orders to find a bid through 50s. Be very cautious. There's a buy that's just come on down at 700. I don't want them to search for him. I will be out before that. Bowden, I took your advice the other day, by the way. Building a little buffer near the start. Give me confidence to take partials. Overthinking big gains. Yeah, nice, man. That's the way to do it. Base hit, base hit, base hit, and then you can play with house money. Fruit. Raspberries, blueberries, cranberries, walnuts, sunflower seed, natural yogurt. Looks good. You look good here. Just want this 50 break, nice and clean, and we should get a bit of a bump up. I'd say once we get through 60, 65, they are adding liquidity there, but they're such small orders. I think we can get up to 90. Here we go. Here's 50s. Come on. Want to see some follow through. Once ES gets above initial balance high, which it's very close to right now, that will help drag us up. Nvidia about to go red to green, which is what I said I wanted to see. Tesla, the only lagger today. Tesla 3.78% down, not having a good day. Here we go. Come on. Come on, little guy. Come on, little guy. Got to get through that value area high and previous day high. Come on, little guy. Just needs a little bit of a bump. A little bit of a bump to get up here. It's a big level, even looking at QQQ. A 5-minute chart on QQQ. It's a big level here. It's where we failed from. Think about just even like this. Ooh. Where we failed from. Right here. These are the guys that trap. We need to get back above this level. Build liquidity out here, and then we've got one of these jobs. All right. That's what I want to see. That's why you have to take some partials into this, because it doesn't have to do the move. We want it to do it. There's a reason for it to do it. We'd like it to do it. It doesn't have to do it. So you got to pay yourself. I hate range. You hate range, but today is a range day again, Alex. Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to be a bit calmer. Yesterday, I definitely was on tilt yesterday morning. Not that I actioned anything on tilt, but I was frustrated, annoyed. tired, in pain with my neck, market not doing what I wanted, exactly what I wanted, and you saw it sort of start to come into the stream, and it probably annoyed a lot of you, and I don't blame you. So I've told myself I've got to be calmer today. Here we go. Looking good. Looking good. Previous day high here. Squeeze through this. I want to see. We're going without ES, by the way. If ES can start to participate, this is going to be easier. So I do not want to see a violation of this low down here now. We held the New York view up very nice. I want to see us hold 32s. Trying to be patient. Let it work. I'm off for some beers with food and some mates. Hoping the rest of the morning goes well for you. Everyone, see you tomorrow. Take care, mate. Good work today. Nice work adjusting, locking in that money. Enjoy a nice cold one. You can see we're very close to that. Red line is previous day high. Blue dotted line value area high. We're getting close. Those 6,000s are going to be huge on ES. It's the same level, same sellers still up there. Basically, you got 2, 4, 5, 600 lots up there around the 6,000s. You can get through 98. That's kind of the edge of your session profile. So you want to push through 98, 99 on the ES for break of 6,000. That will help the NQ go. It's a big psychological number. Failing top side of that range is again, this can build the quasi though. This pullback is what can build the quasi. Again, I don't really want to see it violate 32. It probably will want to violate 32, in which case I'll just take the runner off because I can always add back in. Can always add back in. There's the violation, so I'm out of this. I can always jump back in straight away if I want to. I'm not going to give away all my profits on the day. So back down to New York open and view up. ES back down to previous day high. Might want to trade back down towards view up. The range rotation continues. Yeah, RTY is weaker today. Much, much, much weaker. VIX finding a bid again. So just going to let this settle down. See if any buyers step back in. 715, 700 on the tape. New York open and view up here. What you need to be careful of now is if this is a failed attempt to go higher, you do have this here. So if they start to break down and get stuck here, all right, then they open themselves up to this rotation. Remember, we left liquidity. Right? It can come back for this if it wants. It's what happens when you don't sweep it all out. You leave it. It leaves that opportunity to come back for it there. So I am aware of that. I'm not just going to bid on this as we trade lower. Yeah, right in the middle of the orb and the previous day high and the value area high and the ES failed to break out above 6,000 again. Lots of confluence there. So I say you've got to take a partial into those levels. You can see this pivot here, right? This low created the first lower high. So this was the trigger point for the sell. This is what we back tested and we sold. And then we printed all the way back up, tested this same level. This is why I'm saying we have to reclaim this for a bigger squeeze. This is the control point for the shorts right now. As in just shorts intraday, this point here. Make sense? Push, pull, failure to make a new high, break of structure, flag into that level and wash. And then we reprice it all the way up and sellers are still present there. Can we get over it? Yeah, I think we can. It's just going to depend how we develop now. Yeah, exactly. If you struggle, I always say this, and I probably haven't talked about it for a while. If you struggle to see levels, make a line chart. Right, make a line. Look how much easier this makes it. Oh, hello. Very clear. You know, if you're struggling to see what I see, just get a line chart on your screen. If you don't have room for a line chart on your screen, get a 1 MA or 1 SMA and make it nice and thick, right? And it will do the line chart for you, because the line chart is ignoring wicks. It is doing candle opens and candle closes. Help you see the patterns a bit more. Nice absorption there on the VWAP on ES. Use a bathroom here, be right. All right, no change here. Just developing. Still has the chance to expand if we can find bids above previous day high. If we fail to find bids above previous day high, it will be a failed break of the previous day high. And that will be a key level on a Wednesday and a Thursday. So just still has a few opportunities here. We're still in the range. We're still holding demand. There is liquidity below if it really wants to search for it. The pro trend remains upside if we can break out of the range. Right now the book's starting to look a little thin again. Biggest order is a 57 lot of 700, so that is saying something. It's really not much on right now. I tempted to trade this pullback, promised myself to stay away from the trend, to stay with the trend. This pullback here, yeah, just don't think it's ready yet. You're going to need to see like something like this, yeah? A clear shift at the moment. While we're protecting this, it's this liquidity can be used. If everyone's trading that same pullback and it doesn't hold, it's going to come down here really quick. So it's like a bit of a 50-50 play right now. Even if we look at the initial balance, IB high, IB low, we're at the VWAPs. This is not a good trade location. Not when it's fine if we're doing this and we pull back and we do this, it's a great location, but not when we've traded under and over and under and over. Yeah, look at everything flattening out. Flow zones flattened out. VWAP, deep pullback, New York open, previous day close, point of control. Everything's in this tiny little box, and it is tiny. It's like 20 points. So, you know, you're liable to get chopped up here if you're trying to participate here. Shorts will need a breakdown and really a break under here. That will allow this move for them down here. And remember, buyers can still attempt to find bids in here. So it is not easy right now. Some attempt of a push here. Attempt of a reclaim here. It's battlegrounds. This is absolute battlegrounds right now. They're trying to reclaim. They are trying to reclaim here. It's starting to look a bit squeezy here. Did they catch shorts on that last pullback into PDC? Still too early to say. I'd say if this next pullback holds into 27s, it's got a chance to go higher at that point. It can still be a head and shoulders here, but if this pullback holds sort of into and around here, where we just pivoted above, and holds this, and then this becomes more viable. If it can't hold that, then the chop will just continue. Video gone back red again as well. Tesla, have a quick look at Tesla on the chart. Is it ready to bottom out yet? Where is it bottoming out? Tesla does not look good. It does not look good. I wouldn't be touching that yet. Nvidia looks all right. Still protecting 38, so that's all that matters. Meta had a morning drive back into VWAP right now. I'm just having a quick look at all the mag. Google actually looks the better out of all of them, but back into VWAP here for that potential inverted head and shoulders. Amazon just in range, inside a pre-market level, underneath its view up, right at the 5-day moving average right now. Doesn't look great. Not liking what I'm seeing here in the mag folk as I go through. Microsoft morning drive up, cleared liquidity, coming back into a potential RBS level, but again, underneath view up, not looking fantastic. And Apple the same, morning drive up, failed into an RBS level, didn't clean out that liquidity at 2,000 or 2,208, trading back into its 20-day moving average here. Yeah, market's not ready yet. It is not ready. You can see it in the mag. It's not ready. Trying to just be very, very patient. Remember, your job, your number one job as a trader is to preserve capital. Your second job is to make capital when the setup is there. I would argue right now, we're not ready. We didn't hold that level. Sorry, I've just clicked back on the screen. Make sure I'm on the right one for you all. We didn't hold this level, did we? I said it would have to hold this. It's failing to hold that. This is becoming viable right now to clean these up. If they run these stops, they have an imbalance down here to fill. It's not just an imbalance on these candles. You can see it on the book. It's very thin down there. And if we get through that, there is this double bottom here where it might want to back check. At this point here, it can trap and come back upside, or it can go level down into this old RBS level. Pull him down a bit. There we go. Right, so there's lots of things to look at right now because we're rotating in range. We are bullish overall, right? When we zoom out on the daily, weekly, we are bullish overall. But we are in definitely a liquidity building phase of this market right now, which is unsurprising. If we think about how the market moves, definitely don't do that. It's the new indicator. If we think about how the market moves, if we just go to 30-minute chart. Right, even when we're in a range, even when we're in a range, see how fractal the market is. There's your W, push up, pull, hold of the pivot. All right, and at this point here, we're bullish. There's your change of character. There's your break of structure. Up, 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 up into a range. What does the range need to protect? This really. Back and forth, failed breakdown of the range. Protection, upside. Fail breakout of the range, back inside, holding the low of the range, back upside. But if you zoom out, what's the main market condition here? Let's go to 1 hour. It's up, isn't it? Right, from this low to this high, it's up. So any short is counter trend on any time frame right now. So the easier move right now is up. It's just, does it need to build more liquidity to go upside? That's all we're in right now. Your job is to sit on your hands and execute when there's a very, very clear high probability setup. I would argue we're not really getting that right now. And your range is tight, like even off here, it's 20 points. So that's a good one for you, Brad. You talked this morning about adding in 10, 20 points. Well, if you were long here, let's say at 16, and you added up here, right? And you just got washed on, your averages there, you're now red. So the ads need to come on clear breaks. So like here, if we hold here, maybe you can add. If we hold here, maybe you can add. Not beforehand. Yeah, please hit that like button, folks. Hit the like button. I'm going to get the a reminder on it. Just trying to build out here. ES is still stuck between previous day high and VWAP right now. Still stuck in the range. Yeah, let's get those likes up, folks. Let's get to 100. Doesn't cost you anything. Here for free every day. Nvidia gone green again here. Can this market find a bid up and through Globex and previous day high to take out the opening range high? We are building liquidity. If we zoom out, we are building liquidity for this move. All right, we're building liquidity for this move. It's a bit of a quasi. We're building this. As long as it doesn't let this snap, we look good. And it's starting to look better and better and better. The sluggish one in the market right now is ES. ES, and as someone pointed out, the RTY is the small cap, so that's unsurprising. ES is just stuck in a very tight range here. Really between previous day high and VWAP. It's in like a two or 3 point range most of this time. NQ trying to drag the market up right now. The bids beneath us are starting to get pulled a little bit, which is a good thing. Trump family selling Tesla shares, what, after what Elon said? Maybe. Here you go. Here's Globex. Can this get follow through now? Can ES participate? You'd really want to see ES participate in this. And you've got Globex here. If we take out previous day high, this has got a shot at running up to high of day. It's just a big question. Can the ES participate in this right now to help it? His previous day high on ES. You look good now. If they can break out here and start to absorb and hold, I think you look good. Seller at 55, 60, 65, and then 90. So as long as it keeps absorbing in this top part of this range, I think you've got a slingshot. ES trying again. ES needs to get through this liquidity at 93. Remember, ES is looking to take out those big sellers at 6,000. They've been up there all day. What's the time? New hourly candle coming here, folks, as well. Just be aware of that. You got 1 minute until the new H1 candle. Be aware of that, please. A big wick on this last H1 candle. We're going to close at the highs on the candle, which is very, very bullish. Here it goes. So aggressive in this end close in this H1 candle. Liquidity starting to come in, being injected into it. Reclaiming value area high here, previous day high. These are the key levels now. Any pullback into here needs to be absorbed. You want to see it absorb above 40, really. New hourly candle coming here in 5 seconds. Let's see what they do with it. What's that? All close 47s, yeah, 50s. The wick on that last hourly candle is huge. Absolutely massive. Are they going to squeeze this up to high of day now? ES failing in this same level. We're still in a range here, folks, but again, I'm bullish thinking that if we get going today, we can go and take out previous week highs. We're above previous day high right now, just about. Does this hour need to pull back and find a bid? You would not want it to fail underneath sort of 40s, really, I would say. 40s, 50s. Definitely wouldn't want it to revisit those VWAP and New York lows. I think that's very dangerous given what it's just done. It's had the attempt to go higher right now. I think if you're interested in this, you need it to hold those 40s and 50s on pullbacks. And yeah, you want ES to start really squeezing. ES needs to hold previous day high on any pullback. And then you can look for that continuation higher. So look for this for a continuation higher. This is starting to play out now. Starting to look much, much better here. There's liquidity up above for it to aim for. I want to see this get going at this point. Come on, mate. 70, 75, 80, and then 90. Not really much at 85. So, and then we're right up at the higher day. Come on, then. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go together. Come on, market. Let's get up through those IB highs right at the high of days. Let's go and squeeze. And we can look at a nice play above that for a trend day continuation to previous week high. If we can get above IB high, there is a play all the way up to 859. So basically from 800, there's another 60 points available up there. Looking good for you right now. Just be aware of this channel here. See, they've been building this out this morning. All right, just be aware of this. On the right one for you, yeah. Supply up here. I'm going to get rid of this blue box. Don't need that. That's from earlier this morning. Can we come and take out these guys here for a squeeze up to this guy up here, this red line? Again, we want ES to break through 6,000. I think if ES can break through 6,000, I'm going to have another look on the book over there. Yeah, those sellers are still there. All right, so on ES, they're sat up there. They've been there all day waiting to get filled. Okay, all day. Look how thin we are. This is the edge of the session. 599. We break through that and get acceptance over 6,000. We can get going. $18 more likes, folks. Come on, help me out. We're almost there. We've been long biased all morning. We're in range. We're in range rotation, but the higher time frame is trying to go higher. I'm not short bias really in this market until we clearly stay below 550. At that point, there's a possible range break for a move lower, but we have room to go higher. Momentum's just not really there for us right now. Location's not amazing either. Swing players in this market are the ones making a lot of money right now. Okay, ES, be very, very careful here. You want to be careful here. You've got like a bit of a triple top up here. I would imagine ES is going to squeeze and break. It just doesn't need one more tug down. The reason I'm saying that is how it's built this out. This wants to go. All right. It's had the chance here twice. I'd be very careful if it does that first. do not want to play against that. But I think these stops here should, once we pop them, get us to 6,000. We know there's a huge order here, and that might give us the squeeze upside. You'd want to see ES hold in here right now. If it starts failing in here, these stops look kind of ripe. It looks good so far for a continuation. Here it goes then. Market's going to go for it. ES is going for it, folks. ES is going for it. It wants to do that break we just talked about right now. It wants to use those stops to get up to 6,000 and then munch through that liquidity if it can. VIX back under previous day low. If we get a breakdown on VIX here, it will help. There's just no big follow through yet in the market. Watching, oh, where's my volume gone? Watching this, not a whole lot of volume for a breakthrough in the market. I want to see volume step in. Here it goes. ES is trying. ES is really trying here. Remember, we know all those orders are up above at 6,000. They want to try and fill 6,000. That's the main thing that ES would like to do right now. Does it need to do sort of a little shake and bake before it does it? This new hourly candle looks good for an expansion. $97s here on ES. And it only needs 2 more points to get up there. Everyone's just front running it scared. Only needs a couple more points. I think if it does it, then we go and break IB high here and opening range high on the NQ. All of the market green other than Tesla. Here we go. Come on, ES. Up you go. Go and take 6,000 and then we can get going on NQ with you. That would be lovely. We'd all like to do that today. And then we can see if there's follow through above. We've got liquidity above to aim for right now. 790, 792, 800 for the NQ. It's where it wants to go. 790, 792, 800. We need ES to break 6,000. We are in range. I will say that as well. We are in range. You are at top side of the range. Have to be aware of that. It's not a trend day technically. We are in range. If they want to fade the edges, they can. It is a legitimate play, but once we get through the IB, that's a different ball game. What's the time now as well? Not too long left to lunch, 50 minutes. What's this level here? 60s. Come on, market. Here we go. Come on, you just need to go and break 80s. Again, it's a bit like yesterday when I was getting frustrated. There's not much on the tape here. It shouldn't be that hard. But we don't have market participants coming in. There's no follow through. So very much like yesterday, you can see today, what did we do? We absorbed dips. But are we forcing breakouts? No. Are market participants helping this move? No. Are they helping this move right now? No. They might well come, but what they are doing is absorbing big dips. So it's like they're happy to absorb the dips in the market. They're less interested in trying to be aggressive in the market. So there's a buyer on the tape as a bidder the whole time, but not someone that's slapping the ask trying to force this market higher. That might change, but that's been the case for a little bit of time now. It was the same yesterday. It's why I was getting so frustrated yesterday when we had the chance to break out, and I just felt like we weren't doing what was a very easy move when I wanted. It came. I was very frustrated, and it ended up coming. But it's just something to be aware of. There's a little bit of a buy down here at 760. There's no real reason to go lower than that. There's pretty much empty underneath him right now. Unless we're going all the way down to 700. So here comes some market buyers trying to step in here. This is what you want to see. Strong green bubbles, but you need to see it move higher with these strong green bubbles. You want to see the market actually move. When market orders come in, we want to see it move aggressively like this. This is what I want to see. Here we go. Now, can you move up now? Can we see follow through to come and take out 85, 90, 95, and 800? ES trying to do the same thing here. It looks good here, folks. This is what you want to see. I just want another little spurt of momentum to come in here. We're holding 80s. Can we go and take 85? Here you go. Here's the market participants. Can we take 85, 90, 95, 800? Looking good. You look really good now. Remember, above the initial balance high, we're thinking about that previous week high all the way up at 860. Here goes ES, 98.75. It's got 5 ticks to do. It's all it needs to do. All you got to do, ES, is take those 5 ticks and see if we get a squeeze afterwards or a failure. They're still there on the book. Right, yes, still on the book. These sellers on ES still at the book up there. I expect them to get filled. Right, it is a bit of a wall, but it's not that big. Kind of expect them to get filled. Willa Williams, yesterday was also a masterclass. I appreciated you deciding to stay flat. Taught me how to catch myself doing the same thing. Yeah, it's one of those things. Yesterday was a sore one for me to live with afterwards because I reviewed the YouTube, I reviewed my trades, I reviewed how I acted, and none of it looked good. But you know, just trying to get better each day. Not perfect, so. But I didn't do any damage actually. I made some good money, so it's just one of those. But I think it's the pressure cooker, knowing that we were looking for that daily breakout, knowing that there was a 100, 200 point move there for me across all the accounts. You know, I could have had a monstrous day yesterday, and that probably built in my head a little bit. I was prepared for it, and I fluffed it, and then that just escalated in frustration. Whereas you can see today, I'm calm. I've had to have a word with myself and be like, mate, what are you getting so stressed about all the time? Plus, I've probably got a good dose of CBD still in me right now, which is probably helping. All right, it's still building here. It still wants to go higher. It's still not been able to go higher, so you still have to respect that, but it's trying. It is trying to go higher. ES just needs to get that 6,000 break. Yeah, I mean, it's only CBD. It's not, there's no THC in it. It's just for my back pain. I took a pretty healthy dose of it, probably 9 o'clock last night. And when I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I was in pain, so I took some more. All right, so failing, ES failing to take 6,000 again, failing to break out the initial balance high. All the time we're inside the opening range initial balance high, like we talked about, we're in range. You kind of have to respect that. If traders want to fade the edges, it is a legitimate play. They can fade IB down to VWAP. I still think we want to move higher, but this is a game of liquidity, isn't it? Are enough shorts trapped in this right now at these levels to allow us to get to here? Right? Are there enough shorts trapped here who got squeezed here to allow us to get to that? That's all this is a game of. Who's offside, and is there enough of them offside? Does it help with my back pain? Yeah, massively. Yeah, massively helps. Microdose of psilocybin is the key for me for preventing anger streaks. Yeah, I've got plenty of that as well, don't you worry. But I'm not on it. I'm not on anything like that. I don't know about preventing anger streaks, but definitely for doing some deep dives within, I think it's great. I would argue probably in 2020 it probably held a how should I put this? Had a good reaction to probably helping get me out of a dark place. Dirt bike rider back in there. Yeah, definitely, Christy, get some strong CBD, just some pure CBD. Definitely takes the edge away. For me, sleeping isn't always easy, so that it can really help. If I roll over on my neck and it starts getting sore, and then I rub it, and then I've triggered it, and then that's it. I go in this sort of cycle. You might be the same. And once you feel pain, and you go in a cycle of acknowledging that pain, and then I can't sleep at that point. Still building to try and go higher. Still building to try and go higher. Market wants to try and go higher. It's just, are enough people caught here for that move? It is thin. It is thin here. There's nothing going on here. All the liquidity's up above. Sort of 88s and 92s and 800s. 88, 92s and 200s is what I'm looking at. Right, all the liquidity's up above, and then up here 815, and then 850. Right, so can we hold all the squeeze? If we keep failing like this, the problem is this on ES. Look at the big sellers just came in, rolling us over. Can't get through the 6,000. They keep front running it. Look how close we got. You want to see these bubbles be this size and drive higher. When you're not seeing that, and now you're seeing everyone become a seller for a little minute. The good thing is we've got big selling here and we're not moving down, which is a good sign. Right, so if we keep selling with big size here and you get this delta and we move up, that's where they get trapped and squeezed out. Fasting I haven't done extensively, no. Or stem cell therapy yet. What is that? That is level 2. That's the equivalent of your DOM. It's called Bookmap. I've always used Bookmap ever since my small cap days. There you go. Like I said, they tried to get heavy there and it got absorbed. When you see big sellers and we're not moving down, it is a good sign. That's how they get trapped. This has a chance. The Bookmap, yeah, Bookmap. This has a chance. If that was enough to shake and bake. Shake and bake, baby. I really want to see ES get back above 97s again. Just looking at like a 2-minute chart. Everything's starting to flatten out a bit. So you find fasting helps with pain. It's interesting. Would never have thought that. Just a bit of a heads up before I forget, for those of you here, I am going to be away from, I think it's the 12th, June 12th, until like the 17th or 18th. No, it's got to be longer than that. Hang on. I'm away for a little bit here, folks, in the next couple of weeks. What are my dates? Okay, 13th. Right, Barcelona, Ibiza. No, 12th, then I must leave LAX. Okay, so I leave here on the 12th. So I might be able to stream the morning of the 12th. And as long as I'm awake, I'll be back again on the 23rd. So I'll be away basically Friday the 13th, definitely. And then the next week, Monday to Friday, I'm away, and I'll be back the week after that. Just a heads up. I can do it. I'm not going to London, and I have no intention of trading. I'm going to fly direct from LAX to Barcelona. Then I'm going to Ibiza, and I tell you what, I will be in no fit state to trade in Ibiza. I'm going there for 3 or 4 days, and then I'm going to Barcelona for one of my best mates' weddings. So, and then I'm seeing some family and then coming home. So, it's for those in Discord, I will try and give constant reviews of the market. I am considering getting although I absolutely hate it, I am considering getting a Project X account while I'm on holiday. I actually might still have a Top Step one. Didn't think about that. I haven't traded it for so long. They might have cancelled it. Am I going to any shows at Universe? No, I'm not. It looks cool though. I saw my mate Bibby play there for the opening. Looks very cool. Does look good. That was my last show in Ibiza before it was Universe when it was Privilege. That was the last show I played in the main room back in 2018. Yeah, I'm only going to probably one show. I'm going to go and see. Why can't my brain work? Brain is not working. I'm going to High for. Come on, brain. Hang on. Who am I going to see at High? It's not my choice. That's why I can't remember. There's a huge group of us. Black coffee. That was it. Go to the Dominican restaurant there in Barcelona. One of the best foods. What's the restaurant called? Yeah, so Project X is the actual company. Okay, and Top Step X just called it Top Step X, but the company's called Project X. It's its own platform. So I can tell you now, I know for a fact that if you like Project X, it's coming to Tradeify later this month. They just launched on a few other places. The only reason I'm saying that is because obviously I execute on NinjaTrader. All my data is on NinjaTrader, but Project X, I could, if I fancied having a dabble, take a trade on my phone while in a club. It just means I can keep up with the market and help everyone as well. Yeah, you can't. It's annoying. It's annoying. But they have launched an API, so I wonder if there's a way of doing it somehow. I'll ask. I've never traded with them. You want some codes for Bullnox? I can ask. I can do that now. Are they good? Do you enjoy trading with them? Never used them before. Me emailing them now. I've emailed them. Let's see what they say. All right, more failures on ES. It's getting stuck again. It cannot get up to those 6,000s. And sat here most of the morning doing not very much. We did expect this. Right, we expected this market to be like this. There is a chance that ES produces another higher low, just like we're trying to do here. Okay, so if we're thinking about these pivots, higher low, higher low, higher low, this is still possible. ES, the same thing. If we're thinking about this, higher low, higher low, higher low, these things are still possible with a flat top break. Lots of liquidity here. Again, we said 6,000. It's a big seller up there. If we break that, we can potentially squeeze for higher. If we keep failing in front of it, it's going to be a problem. Or if we break it and roll over, it's also going to be a problem. Lyndall, you love bull knocks. Okay. But Lyndall, can you tell me why? I don't really genuinely never traded with them, know nothing about them. What is the reasoning? What are their rules? What are they good for? What's their strong points? What's their bad points? Every firm has strong points and bad points. You tell me. ES back to VWAP, back to its lower time frame algo here. Same on the SPY. Yeah, Alligator. Maybe you can tell me as well. I'd love to have the input from you lot. What are they good for? Because I can up my new website's coming. I can put them on if they're really that good. I've never traded with them, but I trust you. You guys are in chat all the time. So why do you love them? Are they trailing drawdown? Are they end of day drawdown? Are their payouts quick? What platforms do they work with? My thoughts. When you pass an eval, it can sit there indefinitely without being charged a monthly fee. I think that's the same as most places. When you pass an eval on Apex, as long as you sign the document, you won't be charged a monthly fee, I don't think. Paul G, super cheap evals when they're on sale, but costly activation. Lindell, yes, but the rules are really lax. News, 1 day passing, end of day drawdown. Ah, there we go. They offer both, usually intraday. With codes, a 50k account is around $38 a month. And what's the activation fee on that? So $38 a month, is that a trailing drawdown account? And what's the activation out of interest? I currently have 6 past evals that have not paid for the activation yet. Okay. Activation 148. And is that lifetime? Pretty pricey. Rhythmic only for bull knocks, but I like them. See, that's instantly a problem for me. I don't love Rhythmic. I used to trade it all the time, but I used to have so many issues that I've just moved away from it. But it's each to their own. I'm happy to get it. So no Ninja Trader connection, just Rhythmic. 1575 for a 15k. That is very cheap. That's what I start with this week. Bullnuts. Now I trade them on Project X. Also, they have Project X. Yeah, Rhythmic is, you can use Ninja Trader, so you can use flow zones. Minimum payout $1,000, cannot go under the buffer like Apex though. Okay, so where's the cutoff? Like $2,500. So you need to trade up to $3,500. And what about consistency rules and DCA and all that stuff? Where do they sit with that? So it's the reason I think TraderBait's the best by miles, but I'll get into that in a second. I went back to Rhythmic from Project X so I can copy with Quantal. Yeah, Quantal's great. 40% consistency. That's very good. 40% is very good. That's pretty much market leading, other than Top Step, I'd say. No minimum time, 5 seconds. That's all right. All right, pulling back into this old RBS. This level. Oh dear, oh dear. Don't do that, Alex. Oh dear, oh dear. Come on. This level. Attempt number 5. Way! There we go. This level here. We can measure this out. You can think about this, just this leg. No, apparently we can't measure this out. Can we measure this out? There we go. All right, so 50% pullback so far. 61 will be into the RBS and VWAP. And they will need to hold it. I will tell you what, though, ES is not looking very good right now. ES looks like it's about to sweep a load of liquidity. So we are still inside the initial balance. Remember, we left liquidity at low of day. ES is about to take out that double bottom that we talked about. If it starts letting go, it can roll over aggressively. All the time we're in initial balance, there is chance of just rotation, 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 rotation. ES is effectively about to take out. I need a shortcut for the drawing tool because it always gets it wrong. ES is basically about to take these guys out. And you see this crack of trend here has led to this opportunity to go back to RBS. How long we got? 30 minutes left. Very limited opportunities today. Very, very limited. Unless you enjoy your range rotation and you're playing the edges. If you're playing the edges, great opportunities. All of the market green other than Tesla. A bit of divergence here between the ES and NQ. ES is just hanging around underneath previous day high at the VWAP, failed to sweep the lows there. You'd like to see that sweep the lows and clean it up. But so far protecting it. NQ above previous day high, above the VWAP, trying to drive out through the initial balance high right now. Relative strength in the Qs. So if you're going to look for longs today, you're better off looking for longs in the Qs, really. Really, I'll be watching this versus this. Looking for this is still what I'd look for, but you're going to need ES to participate, and it's not doing so. That's what I'd be looking for. If we start to fail into these sort of levels, this is a problem for the market. Remember, we've got this liquidity down here, which did not get raided. But really, there's not a whole lot to do today. Hopefully, me being calm and not pushing buttons today is helping you to just sort of understand that this is just a range rotation day until it's ready to break out, and it doesn't have to break out. Nothing has to happen today. 40% consistency. They don't care about DCA. The 40 is really good. It means you can let a winner work. Like 40 is not hard to control. It's those 20% ones where you, normally the only 20% ones are director funded. But, you know, they're fine for base hits, but it's tough when you get that day and you know, hey, I've got 200, 300 points here upside, and you got to cut it short because you know if you take that winner, that the pressure is on then to make more money the following days. All right, ES looking heavy. It looks like it wants to sweep those stops that we keep talking about on the ES. Where are those stops? Into 86.50. Wants to come and take those out. So tired today. Any questions, folks? We haven't got too long left. 25 minutes. If you want me to go over anything, let me know now. While I've still got the energy. Bit of a W shaping up here. If they start to break above here, it's got a chance for a squeeze. We just drew that in. It is a bit of a W. You'd like to see it come a bit further down, only because then it rebalances that RBS, and only because it means ES will sweep out that liquidity which it's left again. So that's probably the third time today we've left resting liquidity. We've left it at both sides of the extreme range, and we've now left it at the midpoint of the range on ES at 86.25. So they are definitely not making it easy. I'd like to see one side get taken out first and then a return in. Maybe you can let me know in chat. Are you green today? Are you red today? Are you flat with no position? Did you not trade at all yet? Very tempting to go long here, but knowing that ES is not taking out that low makes it kind of hard to think about it. Flat, red, red, red. There you go, Brad. Hey, on a day like today, though, it's actually good. Ramus green, Jimbo red, red. Quite a few of you red. Christy green, Stephen C red. Hopefully none of you bad red. It's starting to squeeze now. This is what I'm saying. Very tempting to get long here for the squeeze back to high of day. The problem for me is that ES did not sweep. Nick green, Miguel green on 2, flat on 1. Hey, that's great trading. Broke one rule once. What was the rule you broke, Tim? Don't beat yourself down too much when you break a rule. Just acknowledge it, but don't beat down yourself. Like I said, ES still not taking that liquidity underneath. It is holding VWAP. It's trapping between VWAP and PDH right now. It's very tempting to get long here on this W pattern. For me, the problem is that the rest in liquidity was left. You moved your stop by. Yeah, it's not a great rule to break that. Of all the rules, it's tough, isn't it? You tried to give it more room, hoping it would work out for you, and you ended up losing a bit more. But you've acknowledged it, and that's important. That is important. A bit more aggressive buying trying to come in here on NQ. Passive sellers, 770, 775, 785. Buy down at 750 right now. It wants to break. It looks like it wants to break, but again, we have not swept the liquidity underneath on any of these indexes. Like NQ is fine, but ES leaving that 986, 985 does not make me comfortable or confident. We did just pull back 50% of the latest range on the NQ, but yeah, it's ES that I don't like more than anything right now. And if we're not going to move in unison, I'm always a little bit concerned when that happens. Is there more Fed talk today? So one thing I can't remember. Let me get, sorry folks, just got to get financial juice up. Where are we at? Okay, yeah, I've got some news coming. Some time. Trump signs, so midday, Trump signs proclamations. Trump participates in summer soiree. That's tonight, but I would imagine at midday you might get him give some comments. So just be aware of that. The time now. Okay, this is current. Amazon to invest 10 billion into North Carolina for AI. US economic output to fall as a result of Trump tariffs. That's CBO letter. Why have they printed that 3 times? Non-partisan. Trump tariffs on foreign goods could potentially reduce budget deficit by 2.8 trillion over 10 years. Wow. Okay, I've got a couple questions for those in Discord who trade me in Discord. Would it be beneficial to you if I got a news bot that was live and talked to you in one of the rooms and told you the headlines, like a squawk box? Would that be beneficial to you? Or does it just feel like overkill and you're all right with the direct posts that come in? Just feel like this wants to squeeze up to 77 here, just because of what's resting above. Again, don't trust ES. Do not trust ES here, but it feels like this wants to just do a little 10-point push and fill. Clint, yeah, okay. I might do that when I'm back from holiday. Get a squawk box. What would do if I do that then? I'm trying to think how that work. I might have to wear headphones on stream because what you won't want is that squawking through the microphone and you hearing it on Discord. So I have to work out how to do that. They want to go higher here. They're desperate to build this to go and squeeze high day here. You can see it. Here it goes. All right, I'm going to have a little shot at this. Small, small, small size. Need ES to start going with it. Stops already break even. All right, I'm looking for this to break 77s to go to 90s. Kept saying, could see that orders on the book. They wanted to go and clear them out. Be very careful if ES fails. That's the only thing. I hate that we've left that resting liquidity. Here's 70s. Just want to fill all this liquidity up into 77s, 80s, and then 85s. The reason I'm saying that is just this. It's just this. I'm looking for this to get filled, and if that gets filled, this squeeze up here becomes possible because this is thin. Very, very thin. Even here, it's thin. This is the thick level. This is thin. I'm looking to trade through this. Like that. I like that passive buyer coming up. Do not like that. So I just want to trade upside here. So in this long, this will be my last attempt of the day. If it doesn't go, it doesn't go. That's okay. It came out, break even. There we go. Like I said, stop in the money. That is a massive selling coming in. We've got to have news here. That's one of the biggest volume bars of the day. What has just happened there? That's got to be a news event. I'm looking for it now. That's why I'm so aggressive with my stops. Where is it? That's the time. I don't see anything breaking. Oh, here you go. Here you go. Tariffs alone will not increase the US primary aluminium production nor support the 10 billion invested by mid-downstream Matt Meenan. So this is all on the metals tariffs that they started talking about yesterday. And this is going to be absorbed very. Look how we've got to have news algos on. As soon as the word tariff goes, they're like, "I'll dump it." So I take a break even there. And we're going to go straight back upside. Is that going to be enough now? We have washed. What I will say is, now we've taken out, this is why I was so careful saying I'm putting my stop in the money. Now we've taken out that liquidity on ES that I talked about. We just came and washed out 86, traded down to 83. Now, if it wants to go upside, it doesn't need to go and search for liquidity lower. Now that makes more sense. This is much better trade now if they can catch it. And so much more liquidity has come on the book now after that. If you think about where I was at like a minute ago, there was none of this was on it. It's all just come back on the book. Again, protecting my profits today, right? These are the ones I've just traded individually. Protecting my profits today. It's crazy how quick these news algos work. Instantly absorbed back up. Again, ES has done the move I would want to see if we're going to move upside. ES has now cleaned all this out. I could argue it could clean that out, but you're starting to get one of these. All right, but if ES now pivots up here, it's got no reason to come down here at that point. All right, so this is the trigger point for me on ES. It needs to get back above 94s. NQ just looks great by comparison. Just resilient. Very resilient, and it wants to go upside. Unless we get more macro news which shakes everything out. Apple and Alibaba's rollout in China delayed by Trump's trade war. That's just hit on, well, that's got to be old though. It's Financial Times, but it's starting to circulate now. So that also is negative news on the market. So that's going to mean less profitability for Apple and Baba. I haven't looked at Baba for years. Where are all these Chinese ADRs at? I bet they're not trading great right now. Yeah, it's stuck. So you can see the same concepts. There's your break. This is a daily on Baba. So you can see the same concepts that I teach work for everything. This was, demand. Oh, come on, TradingView. You drive me nuts. Became resistance. All right. Demand, resistance. Baba really has no recovery long term until it takes this out, and then it can start hunting these. And that's going to need some major macroeconomic changes to do that. I think I'm done. I had that last attempt, so I got washed out on it, break even. I think I made one tick on it, and I think I got slipped on it, so I think I was literally break even. Let's have a look. Yeah, break even. Oh, Raphael, me too, man. Me too. And today's the day, right? Today's the day. I think on Monday, Donald said that he expects best and final offers in from all countries for Wednesday. That'll be today. Remember, he's speaking. What did I just say? Is he speaking at midday? I just pulled it up. Or he's signing something at midday, so he will probably speak at midday. Have to be aware of that. He will be asked about it. But I'm the same. I'm exhausted by the tariff news, as is the market. The market is stuck. It's a little bit bonkers right now. Right near all-time highs with complete unknowns on tariffs. But imagine these tariffs go away for whatever reason, or their deals are done at very low levels. This market is going to absolutely tear to the upside. Shorts are going to get cooked because we were in recessionary pressure. We dropped down to that 2021 pivot on the SPY. We caught hedge funds offside there. They were looking for a rollover. Trump basically paused and cancelled tariffs after lying about doing that. And we rip upside because they get caught offside. So you get transfer of wealth. And I would imagine you've still got quite a lot of shorts caught in this market. And you've probably got quite a lot of capital on the sidelines waiting to buy a big pullback, like me. But I'm not talking about people like me. I'm talking more about hedge funds and banks. They're probably waiting. Now, if we get a breakout of all-time highs, they're probably going to be forced to chase the market in long at that point. Remember, they've got a job to do for their clients. They've got to move billions of dollars a day. But I'm saying I'm exhausted by the tariff news. Look at ES going now. Now it's swept. What do we say? 94 is probably the trigger for ES. Market's trying to get back up to the highs. Remember, ES still wants to get up to 6,000. Those sellers are still there. I'll sit with you just into lunch. I'm probably done though, folks. That was my last attempt. If that went for me, it would have been a nice little bump into lunch. It might well be that now we've swept, it will go. Yeah, Coop. It was expected, wasn't it? I'm really interested how we close today based on the models that we've worked on. You know, where do we close? It's all going to be tariff based. Where do we close today? Do we close back in here? We know what we're looking for at that point, right? Or do we hold this or this later in the week? As long as we're above here, we're bullish. For me, on a daily, it can afford a pullback. This is very clear RBS level. As long as we're above there, technically we're bullish. That can wait for next week. So I'll try not to give too much edge away here, but think about this today. Think about tomorrow. Think about where we can close the week. Think about what we're going to protect. All right. I don't see us coming anywhere near that. There's no reason to go down there, right? So higher time frame, we're bullish. We can afford to come back into that range if we want to and still be outside of key levels, which is pivotal for legs up next week. This doesn't all have to happen this week. But how we close today, how we open tomorrow, probably going to be very, very key. I know I'm talking in riddles there, but there's a lot of edge that I give away in the course that I cannot give away for free on YouTube all the time. It feels like news algos are starting to turn on. Books starting to really thin out here, folks. So maybe they're anticipating potentially Trump talking. A lot of players just left the tape. Five more minutes. Do they do the move into lunch? That's the other thing. How many times this week have we seen the move come at 12 o'clock and then the reversal at 4 o'clock? Like yesterday was picture perfect. Where are we? Here's your midday. What does this remind you of? All day, all day, all day, all day, all day. Here's the 12 o'clock. Oh, away we go. And guess what happens at the new 4-hour bar? Oh, all right. This is all for a reason. All right. Trap, breakout over lunch, give it back on the new 4-hour, find a bid underneath these lows, trap low. It's the same thing we look at when we're looking at a 1 minute chart. It's the same thing we're looking at on an hourly. It's always the same plays. Market moves in the same waves. Any questions, folks, before I get off? It's just a range day today. It was to be expected. We had a few attempts at it. It might still go. Might well still go. If you're going to long, you want to be watching NQ, though. ES is the weaker one. You can think about ES. If ES starts breaking 6,000 and holding, there's a bigger squeeze there on it. And I think we are into supply, but it's got room. Break 6,000, then really you're looking for 6,008 on ES. That is a pivot high. You break 6,008. So I'm just having to zoom out. You break 6,008. You should be looking for 24s. And you break that today and you're looking for 68s. All right, but you've got relative weakness in the ES. If you look on the daily and the 4 hour where it's positioned versus the NQ, it's only just coming into supply that we've been chomping into in NQ for a while. Nice shirt. Oh, this jumper. Thank you. Yeah, everyone seems to love this. I've had it for ages. It's not expensive. It's a cheapie. One minute left. Sorry, folks. I'm just catching up on some of the news. Yeah, come back. Have a look after lunch. See if something moves it. Yeah, yesterday was a good indication that today we were likely to get this kind of move, as was the weekly model. New hourly bar coming here, folks. 15 seconds. Main trend still up for me. Remains still up. It's just that we're in a rotational day. So you've not got breakout players in the market right now. All right. Job done. Another day in the books. Locking in some more money. Hopefully some of you made money. Lots of you are flat. Some of you are red. I saw that. Hopefully it's controlled red. Remember, not every day is going to be a winning day. Some days you are going to lose money. All right. If you don't shoot, you don't score, but you've got to control those losses. All right. Days like today where it's rotation, 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 it can be hard looking for those trend plays. Control the losses. Do not, I repeat, do not try and turn your red day green. What you need to focus on is there a setup? Do you have enough risk tolerance left? Are you in an emotional state to do it? Is that set up within your rules parameters? Maybe if you've lost 3 trades already on the day or whatever it is, then you're not allowed to trade anyway. A bit like me yesterday. You'd have seen me yesterday. I was actually green. I banned myself from trading because even though it went to my targets, we got to the 700s, which is what my target was. Even though it went there and I was correct in all my analysis, my ability to trade yesterday to get up there, likelihood is I probably would have oversized or done something stupid and caused myself more pain, which is why I just backed off the whole day. So be honest with yourself today. If you're red and you've taken some unnecessary losses, are you on tilt from it? If that's the case, just come back tomorrow. All right, learn to survive and live another day. No, whatever sport you play or whatever team you follow, they do not go on 100% winning records unless you're an Arsenal fan, of course, and we did have the undefeated season. But other than that, it's very rare and almost impossible. So understand that red days are part of trading, right? As long as those red days are not more frequent than your green days or they're smaller than your green days, it's fine. It's just part of it. It is part of it. Like the Arsenal comment, eh? All right, folks, please trade safe. Don't get chopped up in all this. Okay, if you're a range trader, maybe there's some action for you here, but I would be waiting for the triggers. Okay, wait to see if ES can start to regain above sort of 94s and 95s. Look to see if there's enough momentum to come and take out that flat top of 98 and 6,000, and if there's follow through. If you get that, NQ will probably do the same. But right now, all we're doing is hanging around these key levels. All right, momentum will come if we can sort of do this. Okay, because we've got lots of stops here now. If you see failures under here and we stay heavy versus these, there is a range rotation to low of day. If we stay heavy underneath this low of day, I'm going to make sure I'm on the right screen for you. Yes. All right. If we stay heavy versus this, there is a rotation down to this bigger RBS demand level. If we come under this and come up, we can do this move again, but there is resting liquidity there. I would stay bullish bias until it proves otherwise. All right. I would not be looking to play shorts unless it becomes very, very, very clear and obvious. All right. Just to like remind you what happens when you play shorts in this market. This market is a buy the dip market. Every single time we've broken down, we've absorbed and gone up. Broken down, absorbed and gone up. All of this is bullish momentum. This is bullish momentum into key levels. For me, all this is doing right now is consolidating to go higher. It can afford to come down to 550s, like I said. So if you are going to take a short today, which is not something I would be doing, but if you're going to do that, and that's within your rules and parameters, that's fine. But understand that you should be locking in profits, looking for some huge fail in this market, unless you get a major macroeconomic event, i.e. Trump comes out in a few minutes and says, no one's given me the best offer, reciprocal tariffs are going back on, we're going in at 100%. All right, short and stay short. That makes sense. But until something like that happens, we're in a buy the dip kind of market and we're looking to break out towards the highs. Alerts, where would I set alerts? Oof, it's kind of tricky in here, my friend. I'd say 775, obviously, and then the IB high. 775, it's a flat top there, any pivot above there, and the IB high. And then I would say breaks underneath here. Underneath, I'd say 700 and the IB low as well. That's where I'd be setting price alerts. You can go and learn on the course now, Chentry. Yeah, exactly. All right, team. Big love. For those of you who put up with my bullshit yesterday, thank you for turning up again today. I appreciate you. I'm only human. And we'll go again tomorrow. All right, let's see where we close today. And we go again tomorrow. And just the same thing, rinse, repeat. Some days are big winners. Some days are small winners. Some days are flat. Some days are small losers. No days should be big losers. All right. Peace and love. Use hard stops. I'll speak to you real soon.